Hey, 1 o'clock live. So I'm going to let everybody see if anyone wants to come on. This is going to be day 2 of how to design your life exactly how you want it, how to take control of your life. There's 6 stages that I take people through, and I wanted to give you an insight into what they are. So I'm just going to give it a minute, see if anybody wants to come on. I'm slightly late. I do apologise about that. I was doing some human design, so not like as in Frankenstein human design, but as in human design charts. What I do for people as well to find out why they do what they do. So I'll let people filter in. If you are doing the replay, just give it a second. Just give it a few minutes. So let's see. Comment when you come in if you can, or click on replay. That'd be amazing. Human design is really interesting, actually. So it does give you a real insight into what you do and things. Anyway. Okay, I'll do thumbs up when we're ready. If you're on the replay, I'll do thumbs up. Wait for people to come in. I was just listening to Les Miserables. It's really cool, huh? Anyway. Your stories. Okay, so most people believe that in order to get over something, and Western society would state this as well, in order to get over something, you need to tell your story, tell your trauma, relive your trauma over and over and over and over again. Because eventually you'll talk it out and it'll all be okay. Can I just say, that is really, really not what's happening. And that's really the wrong way, because retelling your stories, what it's doing is, say hi when you come on, by the way, retelling. So so for those people who's come on, yes, we're doing your stories. Most people think by healing themselves, by regurgitating their own story over and over and over again, and by talking about it and putting it out there and getting it out. Oh yeah, just spill your guts, get it out. That's going to help. Massively not. That's really the entirely wrong way to go about healing. Oh, hi, Jules. What I do in the second week, this is day 2, but the second week of Life by Design is the second rung of the ladder is to understand your stories. Okay, and here's what I mean by stories, in case you don't know what I'm talking about. What I mean by stories is the things that you tell yourself as to why you do what you do. So stories can be anything like stories we picked up from our parents or family or whatever. So they can be learned stories like money doesn't grow on trees, or I'm just big boned, and you're either fat or you're funny. What was the one I heard recently? Pretty girls shouldn't be funny. Hi, Phil. You're either funny or you're pretty. You're too young to be successful. You're too old to get married. Oh my God, all these things that happen. Whoever's coming on, just say hi. It's really, really cool. Okay, so that could be some of those stories. Other stories are that they can be much more personal. I'm not worthy of this. Because of that. So you've also got proof to see why you're right. So I can only earn £20,000 a year. Might be something. I can't be married and have children and have a great job. That's a story a lot of people say. I can't, I used to be a bit of a player, therefore no one will take me seriously. Oh, I'm just coming up with stuff. I'm unlovable. I'm not worthy. Who would love me anyway? What gives me the right? Things like these. These are stories that will come from a really interesting place and a place of pain, a place of trauma. It may not be like, trauma like, we say trauma is like huge, like car crashes and abuse and things, but trauma can be very relatively, looking at it, can be quite small, but to the moment in time, which I'll get to in a minute, can be quite big. So we tell ourselves stories, and do you know why we do it? To protect ourselves from getting hurt again. So our subconscious takes that story on and goes, oh, I know, that bad thing happened. That person stole your wallet. So, and that person had dark hair and wore a check shirt, right? Anybody with dark hair and a check shirt that runs is probably going to steal your wallet. You want to hide everything. How, to a lesser or a bigger degree, you will then rule anytime you see somebody like that, you will judge them in exactly the same way because your subconscious is trying to protect you. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so what I help people do, what I'm going to get you to do today, is to think about something that kind of holds you back at the moment. There might be something really like, oh my God, yeah, like going for a job, like eating something, something little, something small, so we don't too trigger-tastic today. So something that like you notice about yourself. Do you get angry at something? Does something piss you off when someone does something? I know when somebody tells me a lie, I get right fucked off. And I know why that is now. I don't get so annoyed now. I go, oh, well, that's your shit. That's fine. But it is still a bit of a trigger for me. Excuse my language, by the way. Yeah, is there something about you? You're like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. I don't know where it comes from. It's a knee-jerk reaction. Knee-jerk equals trigger. Okay. So, the reason we go in at it from a story angle and see where it takes you is so you can actually heal your stuff, get over this thing that you've got, whether it be like a little niggly thing or whether it be depression, whether it be an eating disorder, whether it be massive anxiety and panic attacks, where maybe it's you keep attracting the wrong person into your life, you can't eat foods, you are agoraphobic, I don't know, whatever, or you can't make money, whatever it might be that you've got in your life, you can heal from it. And healing it from going back to your stories without entering into the big awful, I'm not explaining it very well, am I? Okay, we're healing it from looking above at what happened and the origin to the reason why you do something. So so like I say, if you then can't look at someone in a check shirt because when you were 4 they stole something from you or they took your bag or whatever, we go back to that moment in time and have a little bit of a realistic look and go, really, is it really everyone in a check shirt is going to do that with dark hair? Are they all going to do that? And we kind of put a bit of perspective on it. Okay. The benefit of doing it this way is you clear the energy at source. What we don't do is regurgitate and walk through the pain of getting all the trauma. We're looking at the energy around the trauma, not the trauma itself, which means that you don't get re-traumatized. You don't have to go into that moment and feel the things you're feeling because you're doing it from a distance, an emotional distance, if that makes sense. The only other way to do it with stories, to use your past to heal your future and your present, is to talk about it. That's the only other way, and that is really damaging. I don't know if anybody's ever done counselling, like talking therapy. I have. Just any kind of therapy that's been possibly done, I've done it, including, should I share this or not, including electric shock therapy, which actually is probably the best therapy I ever had. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. It was a bit one for the cuckoo's nest. Anyway, let's not go down that route right now. Anyway, I won't go that route. So, but talking therapy is probably one of the most unhelpful therapies that I've ever had, because it is just literally taking you back into the moment, reliving it, and the only reason you think you're over it is because you become numb to talking about it. And that's when they think, oh, look, you're healed. You don't cry and scream and sob now when you're talking about that terrible moment in time. And yet you just can't, because you're just done. You can't even feel it anymore. That doesn't mean you're over it. That just means you're disassociated from it, which is not the same thing. That means you just can't possibly associate because it's too painful, if that makes sense. The problem with this is you never get over your stuff. So everything you felt and every massive decision you make in that huge trauma is still there. So nothing changes. You're just not remembering it so much. You're just not reliving it in the moment. But your body is, your mind is, just because your conscious thoughts aren't going back there and being like in pain, doesn't mean the rest of your body is as well. So that's the consequences. Things are just going to get worse. You're still going to have the same residual effects of that trauma. You're still going to have the residual effects of that moment in time. You're just not going to be consciously aware of it. Now, a little nuanced, I say that a lot at the moment, nuance. A little nuance to this is that in your daily life, your conscious brain only runs between 3 and 5% of your day. Everything else is sub or unconscious. It's just automatic, whether it be you, oh, I don't like that person because they're 6'7", or I do like that person because they're blonde. Whatever it might be, you're literally running on the stories. Oh yeah, this is how I drive a car. This is where I want to park. Oh, I don't like that because, oh, I don't want to park there because it's bad luck. I can't go into that ladder because it's bad. You know, everything is literally running on tapes. You have about 3 to 5% of your day is run purely on new conscious thought. So when you're thinking about everything you do, it's important what tapes you're running. And if they're wrong, like I've said before, if you really want to listen to Bon Jovi, stop putting in the Madonna tape. You know what I mean? It's not, Bon Jovi's not going to magically happen. And God, I sound like an 80s reject. Well, I was born in the 80s. It was acceptable then. That's what I did there. Right, so sorry. Okay, so the lost my point. So if you really want to play Bon Jovi, stop putting Madonna in. Okay, there we go. I'll make that more current at some point. Okay, so what do we do? So, okay, I'd like you just to hand on heart, like we always do. Big breath in. Big breath out. Okay. What is one thing that you react to that you'd rather not? Well, let's not make it a big thing. Let's just make it a little thing. Have a pen and paper. If you don't, go off and either pause if you're on replay or go and get one now. What little thing is it that you'd like to not do or you'd like to understand about yourself? So mine was when people lied to me. Okay, that used to literally... I did that, like, so my daughter would tell me the truth and I'd literally have this meh. She'd be like, oh my God, okay, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I said I had Weetabix and I had shreddies. What? You know, it really wasn't a big deal. But mine was being lied to. Okay. So what's yours? It'd be great if you could say, is there a little thing you do? Okay. With your pen and paper, I want you to feel how that feels in your body. So I want you to bring on a moment. So say that thing that you feel, I want you to bring it on, that little trigger you have. You might be a regular thing. How does it make you feel? Okay. So I'll give you an example. So if that ever happens to me, I get sick to my stomach. I feel really sick. I feel like someone's kicked me in the stomach. And I just have this rage, this like red rage. So it's like a pain in it's a sick feeling of red sickness of rage in my tummy. Yeah. So if you can pinpoint where it might be, what you're feeling. Is it a square? Mine's like a ball, like a fireball. What's yours? So in my tummy, it's like a ball, a growing fire. Yours could be like a square. Yours could be a car that's running down your vein. I don't know. Whatever it might be, the first thing that comes to your head, if it had an emotion, what would it be? If it had a colour, what would it be? If you want to share on the typey-ness, do share if you can. And where is it? If it had a place in your body where it was like manifesting, where would that be? And if it had a shape or anything, where? Okay, what is it? So what is the shape? Okay. I want you to tune into that. Write that and tune into that, okay? Tune into that emotion in your body. Bring it back to that point in your body. Okay, get your pen and paper ready. And write down 10 times you felt it before. And just ask yourself, when have I felt this before? I know. So when I feel it before, when I got lied to. Oh my goodness, my wedding day's coming. Got lied to. Lucky I've dealt with it, innit? There's a lot to do with my ex, actually. But, oh gosh. And now literally ticker taping now. So just literally write down moments you've been lied to. My granny's coming up because she lied to me about having lots of money. Oh, my mum's coming up, lying to me, saying it was going to be okay because she was lying. I noticed she was lying. Interesting. What's coming up for you? And I'm just write it down. I bet you can go with 10. How are you doing? Let me know how you're doing for things and if you need more tips. But tune into that feeling in your body, because we hold all our energies and all our emotions in our body, or stored emotions. They come into our body. So feel it in your body. Hi, Shirley. Goodbye, Shirley. I think she's gone now. Okay, where are you up to? If you can be up to, you got 10. Wow, record timing. Thanks, Jules. 10. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Now, while you're doing that, keep doing that. We go into this again each week in Life by Design. We do a big, it's each week, and it's a big group session about stories, and we dive really deep, and we don't just pick something out of thin air. We're literally working on something quite specific, and we go deep, and I'm there to help you unpick and go back to those moments in time. But right now I'm just going to show you a really quick go-to way to clear a bit of the chaff. All right. Okay, if you need to tap to bring on some emotion about this, do. If it's getting a bit much, you think, oh my gosh, these are quite big stories. Oh my goodness. Okay. But they are important because they'll tell you why you're feeling. If you want to get rid of these emotions, these things, then, it's really important that you work through your stories. And I'm going to show you a way of doing it at 30,000 feet rather than in it and living it all the time. Okay, cool. So when you've got 10, I'm going to go if you've got about 10 because I don't want this to go on too long. I want you to go through them, okay, and just see if they're even relevant anymore. Do those stories even matter? Do they hold any weight? I want you to go through and just forgive them in whichever way you can. Again, I do this in deeper, we do this a lot deeper, and I'll give you loads of affirmations to do to forgive all these things. But right now, because of time and because of everything, just go through and forgive those moments in time and work through them like that. Okay, but do you see how quickly you can actually, by one little knee-jerk reaction, you can come up to 10, maybe more times that has been proven right in your body, and that in order to not have that, you need to get rid of these stories. Now, some of these stories you'll be able to go, for fuck's sake, am I still holding on to that? Done. You'll forgive without needing to do very much. And some of them will be, do you know what, that matters. And that's when you go and get help from somebody who deals with getting rid of the energy and getting rid of all that stuff. Which is, it's what I do every day, but it is, you can, like I say, you can get to these stories yourself. So, like I say, if it's something you want to find out more about, bung me a message and I'll tell you about it a bit more. But in the meantime, whenever you feel that knee-jerk reaction coming on, feel it in your body, write down bullet points of where you felt that before, and go through them and start forgiving. And if you want to do more deeper work, get in touch with somebody who does energy psychology like me, or somebody who does EFT or things like that. So if it's not me, it'll be somebody, or I can point you in the right direction. But so if you can get 10 out of a knee-jerk simple reaction, think about the big stuff that's really affecting you. Think about the I can't have a healthy relationship type stories. Think about these big stories that are probably stopping you. Think about when you go to how you created that story. It's impossible for me to be happy. I hear all the time, you can't be happy all the time. Why the fuck not? Be reasonable. Be realistic. I'm like, why? Just so you know, today I did something huge. I went to see 2 £1 million houses. I went to see one and was like, it's not really me. Well, that was 1.5 million. And so she said, do you want to come and see the other one? I was like, yeah, this is more me. Be nice if there's a jacuzzi there in the garden. So she said, I've got another one you can come and see. I was like, I'll go and see that one on Thursday. Thank you. So, seriously, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I do have a feeling that in order to do, you know, I thought, how could somebody like me live in a place? Why the hell not? Why dream small? Because dreams aren't for being small, are they? Dreams are for being big. But the stories we tell ourselves need to be friggin' smashed out of the water somehow. And like I said yesterday in intentions, love it. Next HQ, yeah. Life by Design HQ, yeah. I do feel we need a bar and a jacuzzi, however, too, for social events. So the next one I'm going to see has got an underground bar and sauna. Because I just believe it's going to happen. So when, like yesterday we did intentions, I thought, no, I need to be showing how to do this. I'm going to share the pictures. Awesome, good on you. Thanks, Phil. Yeah, I'm going to show the pictures in my private group. So anybody who's in Life by Design, I'm going to show the pictures of us lording it around these gorgeous houses. And with every intention of buying one. Do you know what I mean? I've got every intention of buying one. I don't know which one yet, but I will buy one. Because that's my intention, is to help heal the whole world. Okay, so there we go. Anyway. Listen, if you want to get over your stories, if you want to see where your life can lead you, get in touch. I run this amazing program, but that's not what this is for. Okay, you will be there. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, listen, if you need to share your stories, or if this triggered anything in you that you need to sort out, I'm free now for an hour. So if anybody needs to talk anything through, I'm here to help, and I'm here to have a talk through it with you if anything has come up that feels a bit icky. And if you're on the replay, again, send me a message if anything comes up. Okay, much love to all you guys. And like I say, if you want to do this deeper and bigger and smash it out of the park, you know where to come. Okay, much love. Have a great day. See you later.